Welcome to the Rich Stylist Podcast. I'm Ashley Diana, business coach for hair extension pros and founder of Rich Stylist Academy. I'll be your guide as you begin to attract your dream clients, create amazing extension transformations, and have your bank account overflowing with cash. Let's go. Megan Anton is a luxury hair extension specialist in Arizona, a member of Rich Stylist Academy, and an incredible example of what is possible in the hair industry. Just a few years ago, Megan was a stylist of 15 years, and she had no interest in offering hair extension services. She was not into it at all. But one day she had a light bulb moment. I'll have her tell you about that. But she decided that she would take a look into what hair extensions could do for she and her clients. We are sure glad she said yes to offering hair extension services because she has certainly blessed the hair extension industry with her gorgeous transformations. I mean, her transformations are beautiful, and I would say some of the most impeccable color blending in the business. Now, Megan has skyrocketed her extension business by making what had previously taken her over a year of hard work grinding behind the chair. She's made that in just 4 months, now only working 3 days a week. I love Megan's story because it shows what happens when you just ask yourself, what would be possible for me if I learned from someone who was getting the results that I want? As a coach, the question I want to ask you is this: if the answer exists, why are you making it harder on yourself by trying to figure it all out on your own? Let Megan's story inspire you and motivate you. I'm telling you, you're going to love what she has to share. Welcome, Megan, to the podcast. I'm thrilled to have you with us today. There's going to be so much value on this episode because you just have such an incredible, inspiring story, and I'm grateful that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So you became a part of Rich Stylist a handful of months ago. What did you need to, or felt like you needed to change or implement that made you make the decision to be a part of the community with us?
I was already starting to do extensions for about a year, and I had a handful of clients, but I was still struggling trying to get like that ideal client, how to connect with it to that ideal client. So I was actually in my feels around Christmas time, and Rich Stylist popped up on my on my Instagram, and I kind of went down like a tunnel and started looking into this, and everything you guys were saying, I was like, this is what I need. I need help with attracting my ideal client. I need help how to elevate my experience. So really like joining you guys helped me realize like I can do this and I can be successful and make lots of money being a hairstylist.
What was the process like for you with being a part of Rich Stylist?
Yeah, like naturally I was a little fearful just because
Yeah.
I've done business coaches in the past.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't feel like you're getting like you're being heard or seen. So I just started listening to the podcast. That really opened my eyes. And then when I had my call with Alex, I mean, just that natural conversation with him, I was like, this is the group I need to be in. Like, you guys get it. If I felt like you guys understood me, my struggles, like I knew joining you guys, like I'm going to be able to get to the next level.
You have.
Thank you.
It's been so cool to see. It's like a shortly after joining, it's like you flipped a switch, and it was just like,
for sure,
win after win after win. And I think we've talked about that on the podcast before, and I know we talk about it a lot in Rich Stylist. It's like you just get that positive momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been so clear, like what you've done. And I remember the first win you posted inside the group, and I think I commented like, get ready, this is just the beginning. Like I could just tell that you were like in that zone of like, I'm not making excuses, I am moving forward. And sometimes it's just that you just need that one win to be like, okay.
I remember our first like group Zoom call.
Yeah.
And like telling you, like, I don't know what's wrong. Like my Instagram's good, my work is good. And I just kind of felt like at that point, like I was just starting to drown a little bit. And then having that call with you and Alex, like a light bulb like turned on for me. And like you said, I mean, after that, it was like win after win after win. I mean, like, I love sharing it to the group because it's like when I do that, I feel like other people are like, yes, like I could do that too. And it just shows like it's possible. Like
You're
that
a perfect example of what's possible.
having that right mindset, I'm telling you, it changes everything.
Now,
For
did you feel like, because I'm just curious, like prior or at any point, did you feel like, gosh, sometimes this mindset stuff is like such BS. Like I just want to like people say, oh, mindset, you need mindset. And it's a money mindset. And I felt like that in the past, like prior. I'm like, oh, come on, just tell me what to do. Like, shut up about the mindset stuff.
100%. My onboarding call with Alex, and he said about money mindset that I could use work there.
Did you have like an internal eye roll?
For sure. For sure. And I was like, well, I mean, I like nice bags. Like, I don't have poor money mindset. Looking back, I did. And like, it's funny how like things happen and you realize like, wow, like you can change in a few months for the better. Like,
What do you think had like the biggest impact on that? Can you kind of trace it back to one thing?
honestly, I think having like my first out of state guest fly in to see me really opened my eyes. Like, there's an abundance of money in this world. And like, you cannot prejudge somebody to think that maybe they can't afford airfare on top of your high service.
Yes.
So when she booked it, I mean, my consultation, I told her what the price was. I told her what her upkeep is every 8 weeks. She didn't even bat an eyelash. And she was like, I'm in. I'll be there
Can I
right
just say, I love how you said she didn't even bat an eyelash. That's just amazing. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, that was what my very first like aha moment with like that mindset about money. Can't
Yeah.
trust people. You don't know what people want to spend their money on.
We don't know what's in their bank account or what's most important to them.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like it's sort of like when people say, I don't know if they have the money. Well, I kind of say it's sort of irrelevant. And also it's always no if you don't ask, but also, like giving them the price or, the hair extensions and such. But you don't know what's most important to them to spend their money on. Maybe they don't spend money in other areas of their life or certain things, but maybe hair is one of their
I've
tops.
heard you say like girls will eat like beans out of a can at hair extensions. And that is
Some will, yes.
pops in my head. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I would to have great hair. So
By the way, you have some of the best hair in the biz. It is so pretty. I'm obsessed with your color and the extensions. It is so gorgeous.
I do. I love it. I'm
And
happy with
guys,
it.
if you're watching on YouTube, which I would recommend taking a little peek, Megan's just stunning. Her hair is flawless. And that helps with your walking advertisement as well. You're just like, look at this.
Absolutely. That was some of the homework you guys gave me before. Get dialed up and walk around. I mean, I got physical business cards now with my
Yeah.
QR code. Because you're right. I mean, everywhere I stop, people usually do comment. So I'm always like, here's my card. I do hair extensions.
Exactly. Do not be afraid to advocate for yourself and your business.
Absolutely.
And I remember talking to you on the first call, and it was interesting because from an outsider's perspective, like I am seeing what you're doing and I'm thinking like, honey, you got it all. Like you literally have everything. We just need to like flip that switch because I'm telling you, once you flip that switch, like it is just like the gates are going to open for you to have win after win after win. Your social media is bomb. Your obviously your extensions are beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. Like, and we like to pair, as you know, both like the social media and also like getting yourself out there. And if you have the time, which again, majority of people have more time than they realize, which is get out among the people in your area and start showing yourself off, showing your hair, again, promoting yourself in your business. I mean, it goes a long way.
And how bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very big on like things just don't come to you. You have to work on it. Yes, you can manifest it, but you also got to work hard for it.
Absolutely. That's the one thing that I think that I would imagine that most people kind of like, it's like I said, like internal eye roll when it's like mindset and such and the law of attraction, all these things. Like I trust me, I totally get it. But it is like a combination of like you're having a vision for what you want for your life and your business. And also like not just what you want, but like what must happen, like what has to happen, the life that you are determined to create for yourself. but having that vision and also pairing it with action, because we can all just sit around and be like, "Well, I'm just going to dream about my life." And hope is something that it can irritate me sometimes when people are like, "Well, I'm just going to hope." And I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's
Well,
hope and dream, but like get off your ass and take action. That is what is going to help really propel that motivation and those wins and your dream life into existence.
I agree.
So
100.
thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about some money, honey. What has been your highest revenue month since being a stylist?
It is actually this month. So I have hit almost $12,000 this month. And that is not working the first 2 weeks of this month. So in 2.5 weeks, I've made just about $12,000. So I've been doing hair for almost 20 years. I've never hit that in 1 month before.
Did you say 20?
Almost 20 years. Yes. I'm
Oh,
doing hair.
okay.
Crazy. I
That is
know.
incredible.
Yeah. I mean, if
Right.
you told me 10 years ago, I would be an extension artist making $10,000 to $12,000 a month, I would have told you no way. I don't want to do hair extensions, and making that kind of money is impossible being a hairstylist. And it is
It is possible.
so possible.
Wow. So when you didn't even in the past, you weren't even interested in hair extensions.
No, like 10 years ago, like when tape-ins and like eye tips, I tapped into it a little bit. I didn't love it. I always thought, hair extensions looked like extensions and kind of fake, and I just wanted nothing to do with it. And it was actually during the shutdown of the pandemic. It really hit me. Like, I'm watching Instagram, I'm seeing all this like beautiful hair, and like something clicked to me where it's like, I need my business to be leveled up in case if anything like this ever happens again. Like, I can't be doing 10 haircuts a day. Like, extensions really is what I need to be doing. And it's funny, I fell in love with it. Like, I wish I would have done this years ago. I would have saved my back and my feet 5 years ago if I did.
So what method or what's your love?
I do like a hidden bead, like a sew-in
Mm.
method. I love it. I love how lightweight it is. I love how it like perfectly blends right in with their natural hair. I mean, to see like my clients' faces when I get done and how they light up and like they instantly like run their fingers through their hair, and every single one is like, I finally have the hair of my dreams. Like that's why I do
You're
what I
like,
do.
I did that.
I did that.
Yes. Your color blends and matches are so flawless and so beautiful.
Thank you.
I always love like your reels and how beautifully you match the weft into the hair. It's stunning.
Nobody wants to be out in the wind and your hair pulls apart and you see that white extension. So
You see like a big blonde base like on the dark scalp. Yeah, yeah. It's
that's
beautiful.
why to me, I'm like, I have to do it. I don't want them to be, embarrassed when they're out.
Well, what would you share with a stylist that at this point right now, they're still thinking, well, that kind of money is not possible for me. Like I could never work half the month and make over $10,000. If they're in the mindset that you were in maybe 10 years ago, what would you share
I
with
would
them?
tell them, honestly, get into Rich Stylist Academy. Just do it. Be open-minded to it. I mean, I'm working on an average 3 days a week right now, and I can take time off and it really doesn't affect like my paycheck. I work for myself, but I would just tell them, just do it. If you think that extensions might be something you're interested in, I would go get certified with a great company, someone that will have your back, will help you grow, and then get surrounded in a community like this. Like all different artists. I mean, you can go on the Facebook page, ask questions, somebody will respond instantly.
Sure.
I would say do it, and it's possible. Just
Mm,
one step at a time and you'll get there. No, and I was just gonna say, I've been in Rich Stylist for 4 months.
4 months.
And I was 4 months ago to now, I can't believe the wins I've had. It's
Let's
been
read some
incredible.
of them.
All right, let's do it.
Do you mind?
Yes.
Let's go back. Let's see where your first win was. I'm actually scrolling through some posts right now. Let's find your first one. Okay, I have found it. February 28th, first win you posted. You said, I just wanted to share a really big win for today. I booked my first out of state extension guest for a new install of hand tied extensions. Service total is $2,400. She didn't even bat an eye at it. And oh, this is the client we were talking about.
Yes,
She'll purchase airfare and rent a car for her appointment.
on top of $2,400 for hair extensions.
Right.
Like that, I never thought that somebody would fly out of state just to get their hair done, but then to have me do their hair that was awesome. That was like my big like aha moment of being a part of this group. Like that shit's possible.
Yeah.
People will fly for you. Like they will come in from different states.
So awesome.
So cool. It really is.
And she's going to be coming back for move ups, which is also very interesting because I've heard many people say that like, oh, well, if I, fusion extensions may be easier for people to like quote travel in for. And maybe that could be the case, but also again, you don't know. We're not again like saying that, well, they would come in for fusion extensions and not wefts or tapes or whatever. That may not be true. Again, we're kind of putting that on the person because look, this is a great example. Like how often will this person be coming in?
Every 8 weeks. And I'm a firm believer, if they like you and they like your work and you give them that value, they will come. They will get on an airplane and they will fly into you. I mean, it happened to me. So it can absolutely happen.
Where did the client fly from? And you're in Phoenix area.
Yeah. So she flew in from Washington State.
That's pretty
So
cool.
it's still an easy 3-hour flight. I mean,
Sure.
It's not like an hour drive. I mean, that takes dedication.
Absolutely. And something I think Megan, we talked about this in one of our Zoom calls in the group, because I've talked about before, like you don't have competition. Like competition isn't necessarily real. Like you just mentioned that. And again, I'm getting to a point. If anyone's hearing that, and again, internal eye roll, I have a point here. There isn't competition in the sense that no one can apply hair just like you, Megan. No one can get that exact color match. And no one has your personality and your energy and all the things. Like no one can do it exactly like you because no one is you.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that we do need to make ourselves stand apart on social media. How did this client find you?
Instagram.
Awesome.
And what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like, there isn't competition because like, again, she's coming to you and it's like, again, you said, she's sitting in my chair, like she's going to keep coming back. Like what you can offer her is different than anyone else can ever, again, because you are you. But the point that I make when I say that sometimes, because I like to clarify with the whole, like, there isn't competition because no one's you. There are still a lot of people, obviously, and a wonderful extensionist on Instagram. There are things that you need to do to help yourself stand apart from the crowd. That's the difference I like to clarify when I say like there's no competition, but you do need to get people in to the door and sit down with you. I think you've done a great job at making yourself like absolutely like stand apart from the crowd. But then when they get in your chair, it's like, again, no competition. No one's you. You got that secret sauce that the client wants.
Yeah. And there's a lot of extension artists from Washington to Phoenix. She could have chosen anybody that way. And it was really cool because when we did our consultation call, she really didn't have a lot of questions because she's been following me. She's like, I already feel like I know your personality. I've learned a lot from your reels and your stories.
Yes.
So, I mean, educating your clients too. Like you don't realize when you post to Instagram, people are watching. They are taking note. And I feel like the more you show up, the more that they're going to want to like engage with you and sit in your chair.
Especially when you're like letting them know what to expect. You're sharing a little bit of your life, like your style, like the essence of you and your business, like really needs to come through your social media. Again, you're such a great example of that. But I think when you know that you're really like hitting the nail on the head and doing a great job with what you're sharing on social media, not only, of course, a guest flew from another state to come see you, but even that wasn't the case, let's say they were local, they come in your chair and they already know, they're already educated about the type of extensions you offer and the aftercare and all the things. So you don't really have to spend like a 45-minute consultation, or even, I mean, it can just be kind of quick. Okay, what other questions do you have? Because you know that they're already really set up for success. You have your great application form as well, but answering people's questions that people are going to be asking, like answering that via your social media, like educating them and providing value over and over again.
And to me, that's how I know I did my job right on social media. They don't have a lot of questions. I mean, and that's it too with hair extensions. I mean, these are 5, 6 hour appointments. Really, you're only talking hair for a little bit of it. So if they already feel like they know you, it makes the appointments so much more fun. It is like hanging out with one of your girlfriends for 4 hours.
Totally. Next win is April 26th. You posted, "Hey everyone, I wanted to share 2 big wins today. Number one, I just shared my most expensive extension appointment for May at $2,700. This guest happens to be my lip injector. She's in the same town as my salon suite, and she's incredibly busy and has clients come to her from all over Arizona, and people travel in to see her from the West Coast often. Hopefully this will open the door for more extension referrals." And a third win I'll throw in is that I'm leaving next week to travel to start educating for hand-tied extensions. 3 months ago, I didn't think any of these wins would be on my radar.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And only had a couple more wins since then too. But yeah, so I'm still like, I can't believe that this is happening.
Well, let's
And
keep going. I'm going to read some more. We're going to keep it going. So May 3rd, because this is just fun. This is like one of the coolest things that among the many things is one of them is just like you've had such momentum. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, like you flip the switch and it's like win after win after win. But I wanted to share, like, guys, like, we're not just saying that. This is literally like month after month and week after week. And they're actually, as I share a couple more, they're going to get like even closer together. Like,
and May 3rd was just a few weeks ago. So
well,
I mean,
that's true. Yeah, that was actually just, we're
like,
still in May as we're recording this.
yes.
So this says May 3rd, big win today. I posted a win last week that I just booked my most expensive install. Well, scratch that. Today I booked my most expensive new install at $3,350.
Yes.
Yes.
Those 22-inch extensions. Gotta love them.
Yes. It said that's 2 installs within 1 week. Total for both of these will be $6,000 in 2 days of work. I'm going to supersede my goals for this month. Thanks, Rich Stylist, for all the support. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So cool.
It's possible. And I was actually getting on an airplane to start travel to help educate for hair extensions when that client booked. So, I mean, I couldn't like get on the airplane quick enough to, send her invoice for her deposit. So, I mean, this has been a wild month. It's so great. And I know it's just starting out too.
Yeah, I mean, it almost essentially just started like the end of February is when you started having all these roll in. Okay, I'm going to share one more win, and you shared this just a few days ago. 5 days ago, you posted, I'm sharing another huge win for this month. My longtime client, she started as a color client 9 years ago, and then she became an extension model for me 2.5 years ago. She decided she wanted to upgrade to 22-inch extensions today. In 1 day, I made $3,200 cash from one client. That's $2,800 in color and extensions, $100 in retail, and she gave me a $300 tip. The month isn't even over, and I've already hit the $11,000 mark this month. Talk about a win.
Yeah.
How does it feel to hear these like sequentially from when you started posting them?
Hearing you say it, it feels like surreal. Like I hear it and I think to myself, like, who is that girl? Like, good for her. And to think like, that's me. Like, it's awesome. And this last guest, I mean, she was my model from like day one. Like when I didn't know what I was doing, like some of my horrible, like before photos of like learning to do extensions, like that's on her. And she was even telling me when she's sitting in my chair, she's like, I thought they were great then. She's like, and now in the last like year and a half, she's like, it is incredible to see you grow, how like great your work is. She's become like a good friend to me too. And, and she's always encouraging me, like, just do it, keep leveling up. Like, she's like, I see the difference in you when I just walk into your salon. I mean, these wins have been awesome.
That's such a great story. And the fact that like starting out like being a model and now she's a high paying client for extensions is like really cool too. Would you have ever thought that that would have happened?
No, not at all. In fact, this client, I hope she doesn't care I share this. A couple years ago, she even offered to pay for me to learn how to do hair extensions because she wanted them so bad. And I was like, nope, I'm not interested. This is prior to the pandemic. Like, I really just don't want to do them. And when I told her I was thinking about doing hair extensions, she's like, please, I want to be your model. And even as a model, I mean, she was still paying me very well because she knows how hard the work is.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool. Like she almost like encouraged me. Well, for her selfish reasons, encouraged
That's
me.
okay.
And now she's sitting here with 22-inch mermaid hair, and she's so happy I decided to do this.
Sometimes I hear stylists say, especially when it comes to someone being a model for their hair extensions, like they absolutely believe like no way, because that person was a model, that they would turn into like a high ticket client, especially like, what was this? This was like a
3,200 cash.
3,200 cat. Like, hello.
Yeah.
You love the sound of that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Again, you're such a great example of what's possible, because you had such a vision for what you wanted. And what I also think is interesting is that there was a moment in time, like shortly after you joined Rich Stylist, that we talked about on the call, you were kind of like, I still just don't know, like I want this, but like I feel like you were still kind of like treading water. Like it was not working, like it wasn't happening yet. But what you did was you showed up to all the calls, you were active in the group, you always continue to offer support to other stylists, which is so cool. And you decided you weren't going to make any excuses, and pairing your vision with like action, bringing it back to what we talked about in the beginning, which is so huge. We can wish for things and hope for things, and mindset is so important. But I'm for someone that like, I obviously believe in the mindset. That's a huge component of it. But I also believe in what one of my mentors, John Asraf, says, which is plus Goya, which is get off your ass, the acronym. And I'm like, yes, like that's the perfect thing. You got to have the mindset, but you got to have the Goya to get up and get it done, but also like a community and like a guide, because we're all like, we're helping each other along the way. And that's really what it's about too, is I don't believe anyone's really like self-made. We're all like learning, and I don't mean like necessarily just Rich Styles, but in general, like in life, we're all gathering information, learning from each other, helping each other. But you have to put that information that we gathered into action. And honey, you've done it. And it's like opening the doors, and it's happening.
I've only been offering hair extensions as like a service, so not including doing models, for a little bit over a year now. And I can honestly say from like end of February of last year to end of January, and now this year, from end of January to now, I am night and day, two different people. And I'll be honest, a lot of that change was joining Rich Stylist Academy. Like, I feel like it's almost like a line of like before I joined Rich Stylist to where I am now. And like all these wins are in 3 months. I didn't have nearly those wins in a whole year last year. So just being part of the community and like watching the videos and like all the technical stuff that you guys have offered, like it has really like changed my business. I mean, I will forever be thankful for you guys.
Well, we're so honored to support you. It makes what I do exciting and fun and rewarding. And it's the whole point. It's the whole point is for people to have wins and to like skyrocket their business. So I'm so grateful you were open to sharing your story on the podcast, because man, it's possible for everybody. You just got to get out of your own way,
And that is something I've actually been telling myself the last year and a half. Get out of my own way. I was holding me back from so much in my life. And you don't realize like the way you talk to yourself in the mirror, or the stories you tell yourself, like you don't listen to that stuff. Like it's possible. Get out of your own way and like let this amazing life happen. I mean, it's possible. It will be. It's great. Just people do it.
Thank
Please.
you, Megan. I love your story. I'm so grateful for you. Again, once again, honored to support you. And we'll have all your information in the show notes so people can come check you out and see your beautiful work and continue to be inspired by you. It's been such a great chat. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Would you like to be the highest paid hair extensionist in your city? 86% of stylists make $3,000 to $5,000 per month. But as an extensionist, you can make that kind of money in one single day. If you're already certified by one of the top companies and you want to make the most money possible with that certification, then I'd love to invite you to discover Rich Stylist Academy. This is an elite mentorship where I give you the secrets to attracting the best clients, doing the best transformations, and making the most money. Stylists in this mentorship commonly have 3K days, $10,000 months, and six-figure years. Space is very limited as we only accept 10 stylists per month to this mentorship. Click the link and fill out the quick free application and see if it's a fit for you.